He was like, let's be Bonnie and Clyde. I actually hit her in the back of the head, then he slit her throat.
Saturday, April 8th, 2017, Lawrenceville, Georgia. Around 10 p.m., Gwinnett County police officers are called to a home in a quiet upper-middle-class suburban neighborhood for a welfare check on the couple who lived there. 63-year-olds Wendy and Randall Bjorge. It's at least the 5th time officers have checked on the couple, a request from concerned family members who live out of state and haven't heard from them in over a week. Though officers have not had reason to break into the home before this point, this time is different. What they find leads the Gwinnett County Police Department to issue this statement. This is a very unique and disturbing case on so many levels, and detectives are still exploring motive. We may never find a scenario that makes sense to a reasonable person.
Let me get your full name.
Cassandra Bjorge.
And can I call you Cassie?
Yeah.
Okay. The nickname they give you?
Yeah.
Is that Cassie?
17-year-old Cassandra Bjorge has had her share of troubles. She lives with her grandparents, Wendy and Randall Bjorge, and has been reported as a runaway at least 18 times by her grandmother, Wendy, in the past year.
I guess let's start from scratch about what happened, starting from when you ran away, I guess. Is that the 31st? Do you remember? Or 28th or something like that?
I didn't really run away. My grandma kicked me out.
Okay.
Cause this is what happened. I was chilling with Johnny and my other friend, and I came home because it was time for curfew.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny is Johnny Ryder, Cassie's boyfriend of a few months.
And so I came home, and my grandpa was asleep, and my grandma got really mad at me, and she was saying oh, if you don't like it here, we're just gonna find somewhere else for you to stay. And she just said that out of the blue. She just got really mad for some reason. And so I was just if you're gonna find another place for me to stay, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna find somewhere else to go.
On the night of April 8th, 2017, Gwinnett County Police respond to a 911 call of an assault on Rambling Woods Drive in Lawrenceville. Inside, they discover Johnny Ryder's sister and her boyfriend, both severely beaten with a baseball bat, and their car stolen. Outside Johnny's sister's apartment, officers locate a different vehicle. One registered to Wendy and Randall Bjorge, Cassie's grandparents. Investigators immediately rush over to the Bjorge house on Furlong Drive and force entry. There, investigators began to realize the attack on Johnny's sister may not be the most disturbing crime tied to Cassie and Johnny. In an upstairs bathroom and bedroom, an officer finds the bodies of Cassie's grandparents, savagely beaten, their throats cut. The doors to the rooms they are in are caulked shut, possibly to try to prevent odor from seeping out. Now, police need to find Cassie Bjorge and Johnny Ryder. They're prime suspects in the homicides and the attack on Johnny's sister. Around 4 a.m. on the morning of April 9th, Johnny's sister's stolen vehicle is located outside an apartment building on McGinnis Ferry Road in Sewanee. Investigators place surveillance on the vehicle, and within hours, a SWAT robot is activated to enter the building, unsure of what may be awaiting officers on the inside. The SWAT robot makes its way inside the apartment, moving carefully from room to room, before finding Cassie Bjorge and Johnny Ryder, suffering from self-inflicted injuries, an apparent suicide attempt following their crime spree. While spending a few days in the hospital, Cassie admits to killing her grandparents in an unrecorded conversation. Investigators place Cassie under arrest and bring her to the Gwinnett County Police Department on April 12th.
There you go. You can have a seat right here. I'll pull you in a little bit.
They offer her a familiar comfort, a McDonald's burger and fries, hoping to ease her nerves and lower her defenses before questioning begins.
I was getting really sick of the hospital food.
I bet.
Her hands and forearms are still covered in bandages and are chained together. The detectives eventually unchain her to allow her to eat her McDonald's. But it's time to get down to business.
So you just had an argument with your grandma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Then I left.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I got you. And then when you left, where'd you go to?
I was just staying with Johnny. Like, we were sleeping in his car.
So you, so I guess when do you decide to go back to your grandparents' house in the middle of the night?
It was like a couple days after, like 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm. You remember Saturday, Sunday? Do you have an exact?
I don't really remember. Like, I didn't really even know like what day it was that we went into the house. It wasn't my idea at first.
How did you even get? I guess what was said. How did you even bring up? What was the context?
He first asked me, "Are you afraid to die?" And I said no. And then I asked him, "Are you afraid to die?" And he said no. And he was just talking about how we could like run away together, that kind of like dream. And he asked me, he was like, "Would you kill your grandparents?" And I kind of like hesitated for a minute. And I was like, "Why?" And he was just like, "I don't know. I mean, because he knows probably everything that I've been through with all of my family. And he understands that, like, all I really wanted to do was just kind of get away from everything, kind of just move on with myself. Like, I wasn't having a good relationship with my grandparents. Like, it started getting really bad, like."
When you guys met at the park, did he ever go over the actual plan on how you guys would do it or anything like that? Or like what was that about?
How we started talking about it was, like, we started out, like, with, what time should we go over to the house? How are we going to do this? Like, what materials do we need to, do this? So, we started talking about that, and then, so we decided to go around, like, midnight or 1:30, because my grandma normally went to sleep around, like, 11:30, 12. So we decided, like, we would park down the road, and then the park was literally, like, right behind my backyard, like, the neighborhood park.
So when you guys made it to the back gate, what'd you guys do next? How'd you move up to the house?
Well, we went up the stairs.
The decking stairs?
Yeah,
okay.
The back deck. And my grandma was still up because we got there a little bit early. So we went back down and we were kind of just chilling over where...
the shed is?
Yeah, we were just chilling by the shed. And then we saw that the lights turned out, and then we just, like, stayed outside for a little bit longer just to, wait. And then I already had the keys to my house because I already had a set of keys, so I was able to unlock the back door. And then that just made everything easier.
Did you guys have anything in your hands, or you just...
Yeah, I had, what's it called? It's one of those car tools.
Is it to do a tire, or is it to
tire
fix
iron.
it?
It was a tire iron. So I had one of those.
Where'd you get that at?
Johnny's car. Because he had one in his car.
His Honda or whatever.
And Johnny just used his fist. And he brought a black book bag that had duct tape in it. And it had the tire iron in it.
Oh.
And it had gloves in it because we were also wearing gloves too. I go up the stairs. He goes into my grandpa's room, and then I go into my grandma's room.
And then do you hear kind of what's going on over there? And does that kind of cue you off to with your grandmother there?
Yeah, he started going at it, and then, I could hear my grandpa just yelling, them fighting, and then I started getting the rush, and then, that's when I started hitting my grandma in the head.
So you took the tire iron, is it just...
I started just beating her head with it. And, I stopped hearing Johnny doing whatever. And so he comes in the room with me and my grandma, and, he helps me, like, tie up my grandma with the duct tape. And
how did you do that? Is it just her hands or?
I got her hands, I got her whole head, and then I got her ankle. And then I dragged her into my grandpa's room, and Johnny asked me to go get some knives. So I got some knives from downstairs in the kitchen, and I got 3 big butcher knives. And then that's when he started like stabbing my grandpa, because then I went back upstairs because I dragged my grandma into my grandpa's room, so they were both in there. Mm-hmm. And then I asked her for the code to her safe, because I already knew that she had a safe in her closet. I just didn't know it was in the safe. So we left my grandma sitting there on the floor, and then I got the code to the safe. So Johnny's watching my grandpa and my grandma, and I'm over.
How'd you get that code? Did she tell you guys, or?
She told us.
Okay.
So she told us the code, and I went in the closet because that's where they kept the safe. So, I go in there, I'm checking out all the stuff, and I grab the book bag, and I just start stuffing the book bag with everything, Like, there was envelopes just filled with money. There was probably about, like, $1,000 that we found in that safe that they were just saving.
So you guys put that stuff in a bag, and then basically Johnny's in your grandpa's room mm-hmm. with your grandpa and your grandma in the room. Mm-hmm. Do you come back in there and say, hey, I got this stuff? Or
mm-hmm.
what? Okay.
Yeah, I go back into the room, and I tell him that I got the stuff, and so after that, he slits my grandpa's throat, and then we drag my grandma into the bathroom, and...
What was the reason for that? Just to bring her to the bathroom?
Yeah, I don't know why we brought her back into the bathroom. I guess we didn't want to bring her into the bedroom,
okay.
So we just brought her into the bathroom. And then, yeah. And then Johnny slit her throat too. Mm-hmm. And I actually hit her in the back of the head with the tire iron. Well, not the back of the head, but like right where your spine is. Because he was telling me, he was like, if you hit right there, like just one like good hit, you can just knock the person out and then they'll be dead. Mm-hmm. And she was like pretending to be dead for a while. Like I would, check up on her, and I would see that she was still breathing. And I'll be like, Johnny, she's still alive. What the heck? And then, like, Johnny finally, like made the, like, last blow. And then after he, like, did that, then he slit her throat. Then we left, and then we came back to the house.
When you guys left, where'd you guys go to?
We went over to, like, Kroger or Publix to go get something to eat. And then we went back to the house, and we just kind of, like, chilled there.
After brutally killing the 2 people who took care of Cassie when her parents couldn't, and who called police 31 times as they tried to help her, the pair hangs out at the house, living it up on her grandparents' money.
Did you guys kind of just stay in the house then, or?
Yeah, it was kind of both. We were kind of like in and out of the house for a couple days. It was just me and him. We didn't tell anyone. I mean, I told my friends that my grandparents went on a vacation for like 2 weeks.
Did you take your grandma's purse, or?
Yeah, I took my grandma's purse.
Where was that at?
It was in the car.
What about men? They carry wallets. Did you take grandpa's wallet?
I couldn't find his wallet, so I had no idea where his wallet was. So I just had my grandma's wallet in her purse.
He hid it underneath his bed. Smart guy, because we almost didn't find it.
His wallet and his cell phone were under his bed.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that's where he started hiding it.
Cassie seems to chuckle that her grandfather managed to hide his wallet from her. Then Cassie says something somehow even more shocking than what detectives have already heard.
During that conversation, you were talking about maybe getting out of town and stuff like that, starting your new life, starting over and whatnot.
Yeah.
How come you guys did stay?
Yeah, so the reason why we stayed in town was because the plan was we were going to get both of our families. That's why...
Hold on, what?
Okay, so the plan was that we were both going to get both of our families. But first we got my grandparents. Then that's why we went over to Johnny's house. And we attacked his sister and her boyfriend because he wanted to kill his family.
Okay.
So that's like, we stayed in town for a couple days because, you know, we wanted to get some money, we wanted to get ready to leave. And then that plan, just going over to his house, kind of just like, it didn't work out at all. It went downhill from there.
And then with Johnny's house, you went before everybody else got back for the night?
Yeah, because like our plan was like,
Why didn't you want to attack them while they were sleeping?
I'm not sure why we didn't do that, but he kind of said it would be a lot easier if we kind of just waited for them to each come home, so then we could each of them
One at
just
a time.
knock them out. Yeah, and it didn't really go like that.
Whose idea was that? Was that also talked about at Peachtree Ridge Park?
Yes. That was Johnny's idea, because then that's the reason why he asked me if I wanted to kill my grandparents, because he wanted to already kill his family. And he was like, let's be Bonnie and Clyde.
He said that?
Yeah. I was like, okay.
That's what I first said when, because I'm the one that got called out to the scene initially, and that's the first thing that came out of my mouth. So.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the movies?
Of course.
You have or you haven't?
Yes, of course I have.
Like the notorious criminal couple Bonnie and Clyde, Cassie and Johnny wanted to go on a crime spree. And his family and her grandparents weren't the only people on their kill list.
Was your mom ever part of the plan?
Oh, killing them?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to.
Was it something you and Johnny discussed, or is it something you just thought of?
Well, I mean, we did discuss it, but then Johnny was like, no, we can't waste our time on them. And I was like, okay. But I wanted to.
Was there like ever a snapping point, or, I mean, do you feel bad about what happened? Do you think she deserves what happened, or what, you know, how are you feeling right now? I'm not in your shoes, you
With my
know?
grandparents?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel terrible. I mean, I feel like the worst person on the planet, but at the same time, it was kind of just like, I don't know. I mean, I feel heartbroken, but I don't know. It's really weird. Like, I'm really sad about it, and that's like one of the reasons why like I wanted to, you know, kill myself, like, you know, and just overdose, because, you know, like there was so much stuff going on between me and my grandparents already. Like, I couldn't handle it anymore, you know.
The thing is, we can basically piece together kind of what happens based on the evidence and stuff like that. But what we never can fully explain is why it happened. Were you angry? Were you sad when it was going on? What kind of walk me through what was going on in your head? I mean, was it like you said, the rush where it's go time? I just need to do what the we came here to do,
Yeah.
or was it like them? They gave me curfew. They deserved it.
It was
Let's
like,
get the on.
it's both.
Both.
Honestly, like, I don't know, like, just all of my emotions kind of just like came out when it was happening. Like, I was just angry and I was sad, but I was heartbroken at the same time, you know, because it was just like, you know, why did all of this stuff have to, you know, happen with my family, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did I have to deal with all this you know? And it's just, I just kind of really got tired of it, and I couldn't handle it anymore. Like, I just kept exploding inside almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted to just run away and just be by myself with someone, you know, and just start my life. Like, I was just tired of being
And
there.
Grandma and Grandpa were your biggest hurdles?
Yeah.
Where were you going to go afterwards?
We were gonna go, like, to Florida.
Okay. Anywhere in particular?
Maybe, like, Pensacola, Panama City. Just somewhere, you know, where we could just, like, escape.
Yeah,
Just somewhere where we could just kind of, like, escape reality.
I got you.
This kind of just all I've been wanting to do for such a long time, which is...
Escape reality or kill Grandma and Grandpa?
Well, no, not kill them. Kind of just, like, escape from everything, you know,
Okay.
just start my life.
The detective leaves and returns with a video from someone who claims they partied in the Bjorge house days after the murders, while the grandparents' bodies were still upstairs.
People have to say about you, like, I don't listen to people, like, I love you. you kick.
So for all these people to be inside your house, we're gonna both have to assume that it was after you guys killed your grandparents.
The only people who came over to the house was and
So they did come over to the house after you killed your grandparents.
yeah, I mean, all of it was like one big rush. You know, I don't remember what day they came over, but
I'm not asking for a day. I'm just asking for in 7 days after you guys killed your grandparents and before you went to go attack Johnny's family.
yeah,
And we're at your house.
yes,
Let me ask you a question. You killed Grandma and Grandpa with Johnny. Johnny, you said, glues and what we know to be cocks the doors. Was that immediately after, or was that before people came over?
that was before people came over.
Okay, so-
I even poured bleach on them before he
You
did
poured
that to
bleach
the
on
door.
Grandma and Grandpa,
Yeah,
and you left one of the bleach bottles in the bathroom next to Grandma.
yeah.
Why did you pour bleach on them?
Johnny told me to.
For the smell? Okay. And that was because it smelled and you were having people over.
We weren't intending to have any people over. We only had China come over just that one day because we were like, you know, it was only a couple days after, so we thought it was gonna be okay. Like, it didn't smell in the house.
Do they know that your grandparents were upstairs?
No,
They have no idea.
they had no idea. I told them that they were on vacation.
Did they go upstairs at all?
No,
How long did they stay there for?
just for like a few hours. They came really late at night.
Did you text anyone on Grandma's phone
Yes,
pretending to be Grandma?
yes.
Who did you text?
Just Sylvia.
Okay. And who's that to you?
She's a family member in California.
Okay. So you texted Sylvia. What did you say to Sylvia?
She kept asking, is everything okay? Because she just started freaking out, like, that my grandma wasn't texting her, and so I started texting her saying everything's fine.
Where did you take Grandma's phone from? Was it on her nightstand? Was it
Yeah.
in her purse?
It was on her nightstand.
Okay. Did you take it before or after you hit her with the tire iron?
It was like in the middle.
In the middle. So she couldn't call 911?
Yeah. No, we made sure that they couldn't call 911.
No one else came to the house?
After nearly 2 hours in the interrogation room, it seems the detectives have had enough of Cassie's calm demeanor.
It was all over the news.
Yep. Anything else? It only seems that you're sorry you got caught that you had people over after. You don't seem to be sorry that you killed your grandparents.
I am.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. Knock if you need anything.
For the next several minutes, Cassie's cold exterior seems to break down as she switches between crying and trying to hold herself together. Finally, detectives have heard enough, and Cassie is booked into the jail.
You're being charged of malice murder for your grandmother and then malice murder for your grandfather. Officer Dewey now is going to transport you to the jail, so.
Cassie Bjorge and Johnny Ryder are charged with 2 counts of malice murder for killing Wendy and Randall Bjorge, and 2 counts of aggravated assault for the attack on Johnny's sister Mindy and her boyfriend. In February 2018, they both plead guilty to all counts. They are each sentenced to 2 life sentences. At their sentencing, Johnny apologizes for his actions, saying, "I know what I have done is abominable and evil and is deserving of hellfire. I would like to express my deepest apologies to the Bjorge family. I'm so sorry for the pain and grief I have caused all of you." Cassie, with her family watching, doesn't speak.